very soon you're going to see that you're 80 years and you haven't done anything about this big picture. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume and today we're going to be talking about how to do big things. Let's get into today's video. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're super welcome. I am so excited to have you here with me. Here on this channel, we talk about topics, tips and tricks that will help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here again. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as you've enjoyed the others. Now, let's talk about what we need to talk about today. How to do big things, because we all want to do big things. We all have big dreams, massive dreams that we need to achieve. And sometimes the problem is not that we don't even know what we want to do, but we don't know where to start from with this big dream and this big vision that we have. Let's talk about it. What should we do? What do we need to do? The first thing I'm going to say is you need to define what this big thing is. You would be surprised or amazed at the number of people that just knows that they want to do big things but don't know what they want to actually do. So you need to be able to define exactly what that is. What does big thing mean to you? What exactly is a big thing that you want to achieve? As much as it can be a scary thing for you to have this big idea in your head, but you don't know how to put it down on paper or put it in words, you need to sit down and be able to do that. So yes, don't be one of those people that cannot define what their big thing is, because your definition is going to help you. I know that I say it a lot, that you need to have a why. Your why comes from what exactly it is. You cannot have a why if there is no what. So you need to be able to be clear about what that big thing is that you want to achieve. You want to make sure that it is something that you can clearly state, something that you can clearly define as, this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly what I need to achieve. And you're clear and focused and precise on what exactly it is. So number two, you want to break down this big picture into actionable steps. I know you must have seen that coming. You absolutely saw it coming. And so yes, I'm going to just emphasize the points that you already saw coming. You need to make sure that these steps, this big picture, you can break them down into actionable steps that you can take constantly. You can be intentional about taking these things. So as much as your big picture starts off being a big picture, it does not become achieved as a big picture. So for example, very random example, let's look at the world. God created the world, but he didn't create the world in one sitting. He didn't create the world just by saying, oh, this is the idea of the world that I want to have. And then it came into existence immediately. It took his time to do it, and he broke it down into different things. So each day there was something that he was creating. He created something every single day for the next 6 days. And then we have the world. So the same for you. You have a big picture in your mind or in your head that you have clearly defined. You then need to break this big picture into things that you can do in bits and in pieces, in actionable steps that actually align with the big picture that you have. So another example, a tree doesn't become a tree the day you plant the seed. It becomes a seed that dies first, and then it starts to grow like a, I want to say flower, but it's not a flower, like a plant. Not me sounding like an agric student, but anyways, point is, we don't see the massive tree that we see everywhere in the forest or on the farm because it was planted that day. It took time, some years, some months. Point is, it did not happen on the same day. So this is how your big picture is also seen. It's not something that would happen immediately you conceive the idea, but your action steps, the steps that you now take towards it, is what is going to lead you to the point of it becoming an established thing. Number three, you want to plan for these actions. Yes, you want to make sure you have a plan. I would say have routines towards it. So for example, the goal that you have set, your big picture that you have set with the actionable steps, how can you slot it into your daily routine? How can you slot it into your monthly routine? What are the things that you need to do every day towards this thing? Say your big picture is to have an established business or something like that. What do you need to do every day towards this thing? What do you need to do every week towards this thing? What do you need to do every month towards this thing? You need to have a plan of action, and not just having it but actually following it. So make time for these actions that you have then created. Make time for these things that you need to do, because if you just leave them as action steps or actionable points and do nothing about it, then your big picture is just going to be that, a picture that does not become a reality. So you want to be clear about stating what exactly you need to do. So what must you do towards this big picture that makes it a picture that becomes a reality? Number 4 is that you need to pray about this, your big picture. And I would have said this first, but because it is a continuous action, I couldn't say it first. You need to pray about every step of the way, your big picture. Prayer is something that you should do. Once you have a big picture, the next thing you need to do is to have a prayer plan for your big picture. I say prayer plan. You need to have a prayer plan for your big picture. You need to be consistent in praying about this thing, because as much as you have a big picture, if you leave yourself, you are not going to be able to achieve it. And I love to believe that when you have an idea in your mind, you do not have it based on your own anything. If it's an actual idea that you're able to be consistent with, it was dropped, you conceived the idea because God wanted you to conceive that idea. And so the only way that you're certain about accomplishing it is that you're doing it with God. And your way of communicating with Him is that you're constantly talking to Him about this big picture. So you need to pray about every step that you're taking towards it. You decide to define this big picture, pray about it. You decide to create actionable steps about it. You need to pray about those steps. Your plan of action, you need to pray about it. Your execution, you need to pray about it. You need to pray about every single step of this big picture that you have, because it is going to be what sustains you when you are tired and exhausted, when you begin to doubt yourself, and when you begin to have fears. What helps you to stay consistent on this big picture that you have, that you know you want to achieve and you want to be recognized for, is that you are strong in the place of prayer. Another reason why you need to pray consistently about it is that you want to be certain that your big picture and your action steps are in total alignment with what God wants you to do. Sometimes you would have an idea, and that's why I say that if it is an idea that is conceived by God, then you need to stay with God on it. But even if it is not, you need to still stay with God on it, because you need to be certain that it aligns with His plan, so that you're not just wasting your time on something. Because sometimes what we do is we see somebody doing something and then we think that we can also do it, and then you start to buy into somebody else's dream or vision or big picture. There is no problem with being supportive of other people's big pictures, but when you make their picture your picture because you think that that is what is working, then you're very quickly missing out on your own different, particular, beautiful journey of life. And number 5 is that you need to start working. Yeah, so we've defined this big picture. You have your big picture broken down into bits and pieces. You have an action plan that you're going to work with. You're praying about it. You then need to start working. Do not leave your big picture as an idea. Do not leave it as something that is just dancing in your head and saying, oh, one day I'm going to do this, because very soon you're going to see that you're 80 years and you haven't done anything about this big picture. So what you need to do is you need to start working today, right now. Get a pen and paper if that is what you need, or get your computer if that is what you need, and start doing the work that you need to do about this big picture. Do not let it sit down for the next 2 minutes again. Once you're seeing this video, it is your call to start doing the thing that you need to do towards your big picture. So start doing the work you need to do. The action plan that we drew in number 3, you want to start working towards it. What do you need to do every day? What do you need to do right now towards it? Do you need to create a business plan? Do you need to speak to somebody? Do you need to watch a video? Do you need to register for a course? What do you need to do towards this big picture right now? Start doing it. Make it a part of your daily routine. Make it a part of the things that you do constantly. Doing this is going to help you to be accountable to the goal that you have set for, to the big picture that you have. Just to wrap up, to do big things, you need to define what this big thing is. You want to break this big thing down into bits and pieces that you can work into puzzles that you can put together to make your big picture a big picture again. Number 3, you want to make sure that you have an action plan. You want to make sure that you're praying about all of these things every day, consistently and intentionally. And number 5 is that you want to start working towards it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you to start to work on the big thing that you have in mind and helps you to also succeed at it. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also share with as many people as you can. Let's win this period. I know we say it all the time, we're winning this year, so let's continue to win, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, bye.